Yo, hair's looking great, my friend. How
What's
you
going
doing?
on, man? Now I was gonna making fun of you before that thing. He was just like making sure. I'm surprised you don't have a Cynthia over there just puttering you up before, uh, with your little napkins and a shirt. You know what I mean? Getting your makeup done. I
I
do it
do
before I come
need
in
that.
here. Yeah, me too. I do it. Desiree hooks me up every time I come in here.
That's awesome. Well, I'm wearing my All Madden shirt. Did you order any merch? I feel like we both should be repping All
Dang.
Madden shirt. All Madden podcast brought to you by allmadden.com.
Stand by. Go on and introduce us.
Yeah, so what are we covering today? Let me let the boys know. Let me put in the chat that the pod is live. Levon's running to get his All Madden shirt so we can be in uniform as a team. I should have told him that before we went live. That's on me, but got a lot to cover today. Start of season 4. We are here. It's crazy. We were just saying, it's like, how are we already in season 4? This shit has flown by, but we also got a late start. And um, yeah, I think it's just the late start that's making it seem like it's flying by. And maybe like second year in the league for me and Levon. I feel like first year goes super slow because it's like, holy shit, this is our first year. And this second year of Madden has been a little quicker, probably because we're like, I don't know. We're used to it. We're into it now. We're in the routine. Nice all Madden tee.
Yes, thanks. I was gonna order I ordered a tea. Oh, hi, Mike. I ordered a tee, white tee, long black sleeve T-shirt, and I ordered a sweater. It's a little too hot for a sweater, so and I didn't want to wear the same shirt as you, so I went with the white tee.
Do you have the like the logo with the globe on it? Like,
What do
does
you mean?
your logo have the globe in your little chest thing?
Yeah,
Nice. What do you think of the globe as
I
opposed to?
love it.
I
It's
got the
perfect.
original with the DMVR flag before we had to get rid of it.
No, yeah, mine's the globe. Mine's the updated one. I think it's perfect because it kind of represents what this league is, right? Kind of
Hmm.
you know, the most exclusive international all Madden league. It is what it is, and the globe kind of like puts that. It's a nice touch to it. I like it.
But what's going on? We're 3 weeks in, right? We're wrapping up week 3 tonight. That we're recording this. It's 7:15 Eastern on Monday night. We got some NBA playoffs coming up tonight and a few games going on.
Yep.
So we're going to talk like early season hot starts, other storylines from the beginning of the season, and then we're going to go through the divisions and we're going to pick our division winners kind of on a fly. We didn't prep at all, but we're going to look at the divisions and the early starts and make our picks there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably gonna be a shorter pod today because we do want to get to this playoffs, basketball, NBA playoffs. That is so. But I'm excited, man. There's some interesting starts, some interesting teams with interesting starts to the season. We're gonna get to. So, if you want to just start us off.
Let's start with one that's they're coming off a 35-30 win over the Bears, which was a
Mm,
huge test for them. And I just want to ask you this: is this the season of Lou in the NFC West? Is it happening?
man, I mean, the first big win is the Bears, right? Now, we only thing is we're not really sure what kind of Bears team is this. I mean, they were pretty much all but blowing up the whole team after this loss, right? 35-30 loss. Another good opponent he had was defending back-to-back Super Bowl champion Jason before that, and that game was not really competitive. 7-42. Close game against Spencer. I don't know if it was CPU or not. 17-14 win. But I think it's a little too soon to call it. Okay, obviously you and I are big supporters. We're always in this corners as a lot of other people are. But he's in a division where he's gonna have a shot to have be competitive, but he's gonna have to put some wins together. Uh, he's working with a new quarterback, rookie quarterback, and he's working with a rookie running back as well. So some new weapons on that team. And as far as tests, he has a couple of good tests coming up, right? And this is what I mean by it. He has Cardinals, 49ers, Texans, and Saints. And it's kind of like a good balance. You have two teams who are very beatable, and then two teams that are going to be very tough, uh, who are usually very competitive at playoff teams. I want to see you come out of here at least 3-1. You gotta take care of the bad teams, and if you still one of the better teams, I'm a believer. Now I'm the 12th man of the Seattle Seahawks, saying that they're a playoff team. If you come out of this 4 game stretch 2-2 or worse, then you're gonna have to do some more, some more down the stretch to really prove that you're a playoff team.
Great points. You hit on pretty much everything that I was thinking of with the
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks. I think it's funny, like the NFC West is like it's just like a foreign country, honestly. Everything that happens in the NFC West kind of happens in a vacuum. Like everything that's going to determine if Lou has a successful season is like, can he get past the Cardinals?
Yeah.
That's number one with a bullet. You mentioned the rookie quarterback. He got one in the top 5. That's great. It's hard to have a rookie quarterback, but he'll be better than Jordan Love. But you're right. The Cardinals are going to be 3-0 after they beat Caleb this week.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays them next week. So you could either both be 3-1, or we're looking at 4-0 Cardinals and 2-2 Lou. And it's like, damn, the Seahawks are already out of this thing. I know it would be super early, but I think Lou would even start to maybe think that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
And
another team.
next one is I think you were gonna go to a 2-0 Titans.
3-0.
Oh, well, it's not showing it. They must have just won.
Oh no, he blew out the 49ers, but then it desynced in the fourth quarter,
Oh,
so
I
that'll
see
be a
it.
sim win.
Okay, so 3-0 Titans. I mean, that's a hell of a start, and some good wins too over Chiefs, Jags. Those are really good teams. Both very close. That I think that tells me that there's still some working to be done in Tennessee. 49ers not a it's an easy opponent for most of the users. So, but 3-0 start. I mean, that's you're doing the right thing, right? You're beating the teams that you're supposed to beat. So, we got challenges coming up with Bills and Chargers. Those are very competent users with very very distinct personalities or distinct schematics that you're gonna have to overcome. Bills are gonna have really they're gonna have the run game, they're gonna bring in the defense. Chargers are gonna have a lot of unique play calling. So it's a good 2 game stretch for him to kind of like figure out, hey, how do I play against things that are the teams that are gonna be I might see in the playoffs. Now Chargers, I don't think with 0-3 start are gonna be playoff team, but they're at least playoff experienced teams. And then you got Ravens coming up. Then you can really unload and maybe get some dev games for your young players. Caleb Williams has been playing really well this season too.
Has he? I know you're on the QB rankings. Have you been keeping the stats or?
Obviously, I didn't watch that game last one, but the first 2 games, they were pretty good. Let's see. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions against the Jags, as good as it gets. And then against the Chiefs, he was 1-2, but he didn't really throw much. 10 for 19. Looks like his running game was working a little better. Let's see. Yeah, 89 yards with Kenneth Walker. So this was a defensive game, which is good. I like to see that. I like to see that it's not just, you just chucking it up. You can win different ways. So, and the Chiefs is a very, very, you can't really just go out and have fun against the Chiefs. Phil will make you earn it. So.
Well, dude, fucking Logan tried to have fun in the fourth quarter. It seemed like I remember we watched that game,
Oh,
and
that's right. Yep.
Logan tried to throw that game away in all different kinds of ways. He ended up texting me later saying he was going for some scenario, which is, week 2 going for a scenario. That's fine,
Yeah.
But if you're going for this division, you got to tighten it up. I think this Bills Titans game is one of the most interesting early season games like that we have. Like Bills, he just knocked off the Jets. He very easily could have beaten me. I think the Bills are clearly working with something. So these are 2 teams that are kind of desperate to be in that relevant category. And I think whoever makes less mistakes in this game is going to come out victorious.
Yeah, for sure. All good points.
Who else has had hot starts? Put in the chat if you think a team has had a hot start that we're not talking about. Like surprising hot starts. Like Dolphins are out to a 3-0 start. He just beat the Steelers, Hank, 31-28. I think that game was probably a little closer than most of the league anticipated. What did you Did you see that game at all? What do you think about Hank's early start and the Dolphins' early start? Either go with one of those.
Um, I think so. Hank beat the Chiefs, I believe, right? One of the games.
I think that's right. He does have a no. Actually, no, he didn't. He only beat the Browns.
Okay. Oh, I mean that Browns win was kind of necessary for him. He needed to because he's been struggling in the division outside of Ravens. I think he's been losing to Bengals and Browns. So the win over the Browns is good. He lost to the Chiefs, close game against the Dolphins. So I think the first game against the Chiefs, because they desynced. I almost want to say he was he up? I guess we won't know. But mm, I'm not too inspired by the Steelers this year. It's the same old Steelers we've seen. They do have somewhat of a favorable schedule this year. Uh, so I think they'll be competitive going down to week 15 through 18 when the playoff rosters get filled in. They'll be in a mix for sure. I mean, they got, let's see, Vikings, Bengals, Ravens, Seahawks, Ravens again, Jags. They got some winnable games on there. Bears. I mean, we don't know what Bears are right now. So, um, but you got to get these wins early because going down straight at the end of the season, you got Lions, Pats, Packers, Jets. Those are some of the games you're gonna have to win.
Ooh.
So you definitely want to put some wins together in early in the season. And already losing um, two games, even though at least he played them close.
Damn, I have in my notes here. I am in on the Steelers. Beat the Browns, hung with
Mm.
the Dolphins, and extended Devontae Adams. And also, I've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
Hank said on the pod that he's going to get good at Madden again.
Mm.
He cared about the offseason for an entire day where he posted all of his guys. But I hit him up about the league member spotlight. He read it and didn't get back to me. So I feel like I'm coming back on my take. I don't know if I can really,
Yeah.
you know, put my fork in the ground on the Steelers. I feel like
I mean,
you're kind of right. Same old.
yeah, we're talking about this is the even not to come down too hard on a guy, but this is the off season. This is probably the least uh busy he's gonna be throughout the year.
Yeah, right.
There's no Broncos shit going on. We just wrapped up the draft. We had like two picks. So like I mean, unless you're writing some crazy stories about undrafted free agents we signed. Sure, but I feel like this is the freest he's gonna be throughout the year, and if he doesn't have a lot of time to, you know, do a lot of Madden, I don't think when the camp starts or the season starts for sure not. So,
So
um,
if not now, then never for the Steelers is what you're saying?
yeah, this is the season they need to really show that they're still that competitive user in the league. If not, then he's just gonna go down. If we were doing we had our rankings of tanking for Caleb Williams. I mean, he's getting closer to that too, rather than a playoff category, right?
Yeah, we'll get the tears going again next week. What
Yeah.
about this team? We kind of talked about them a little bit. They're going to be 3-0.
Hmm.
The Cardinals. The Cardinals have always just been a team that we keep one eye on, but we never really take them that seriously as a contender. Now, they made it to not the NFC Championship game. He was knocked out once in the divisional round to
Yeah,
Jason, right? He played a hell of a game against Jason,
he
gave
did.
Jason one of his hardest games in the playoffs. Do you think that Derek and the Cardinals have taken a level up? Like, are they like a legitimate contender now, would you say?
Uh, yeah, I think they deserve to at least be mentioned in that conversation for sure. I mean, they were having their way with the Texans in the first half before
Right.
the game desync. Like he was no pedestrian passing game either. He was chucking it up, deep posts, deep passes, short passes, running game. Everything was working for him. So he's really settling in his finally like kind of like finding his identity, which is funny because it's with Dak Prescott as his quarterback, which if you remember last year, he used to hate Dak Prescott. He used to have him
Mhm.
as a Jaguar. So he's having a lot of success with him, and he should be. He should be. I mean, he's in a very winnable division. He's gonna be a playoff team unless Lou really, really, puts the smokes on him and kind of like takes the division. But um, and then he has experience against the Super Bowl champ in the playoffs. So I'd definitely put him up there as a NFC contenders with like what 6 of them there are.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the safer bets that he's going to have a home playoff game. All right, we
Mhm.
talked about Lou, but I mean I think we would both put money if we had to on the Cardinals. And I think one thing that like these desync games, a lot of times people get exposed in the run backs of DC games, and you kind of see like it's like all right, they showed all their stuff in the first game, and then the
Mhm.
better player kind of took care of business, when they were able to see everything and kind of make their adjustments. But you mentioned it. He was dominating the Texans in the first time. They desynced, and then he ends up winning 31-10. So like
Yeah.
there's no fluke about that at all.
No, yeah, the Texans are definitely struggling with their roster right now. They were, I don't even think they had 53 men on their roster for a while. I think they've probably eventually filled that roster spots, empty roster spots in, but they were so in such a cap hell that they couldn't even sign some bottom of the roster guys. They had to trade a lot of pieces away. They're all star. Or I'm sorry, superstar tackle. They traded away their one of their core wide receivers just to free up some cap. So, it's a depleted Texans team, but nevertheless, this is a very good user. This is a Mr. Two Times we're talking about. So, yeah, all the
Well,
credit to
are we at the point? Are we at the point with the Texans? Because we got hot starts, but
yeah,
I've got the Texans slow start. I'm alarmed. This is
yeah,
alarming.
yeah.
Like,
This is definitely sound alarms. Uh, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, it's just because, and then that's exactly what I'm getting at. It's kind of like everything's kind of like falling apart in Texas, in Houston, right? Your guys are not resigning. You're trading away a lot of pieces. If I did not know Alex himself, I'd be like, oh, he's tanking. He's tanking to get good drafts next year. But I know he doesn't care about that. It's just unfortunate cap situation that he fell into. He's forced to do these things. But you know, he did get 2 first-round picks for next year, for coming up draft. And I'm sure he freed up some cap too. So maybe he's gonna take it easy. I know on the when he was playing against Derek, he'd mentioned a couple of times on the stream that hey, I always do this. I always start off really slow, and then I put 10, 9, 10, 11 wins back to back together, and I make the playoffs. I'm not really worried about it. So, you know, I'll be interested to take a look at Texans schedule to see how likely it is for him to pull off the 10-game winning streak like he usually does.
even if
So
he does pull it off, though, like going into the playoffs on a 10-game winning streak, needing to win like 13 in a row or 14 of 15 to win a Super Bowl, it's just like those odds are not going to be in your favor.
yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe that's why the Broncos, lost to the Falcons in regular season. Didn't really help them at the end. Lost to the same team again. But um, you know, all right. So looking at it, he's playing
Thank
tonight.
God for Jason.
Yeah. Thank God. He's playing Chiefs tonight at 10:30 p.m. He has after that he has. I think I think that's gonna be a competitive game. Hopefully, no desyncs. So far, Alex has been desynced in both of the games he played. Uh, and I don't. Yeah, he when him and I desynced, the game was not really. I think he desynced immediately, so there was no really much to say about that. All right. Anyways, after tonight he has Colts, Browns, Seahawks. So I mean, we talking about Colts, Browns, Seahawks. When you think about Alex, you think he's winning all these three. So going into week 7 against the Chargers, he could be already 3-3, and
Yeah.
we could already be like, oh yeah, he's fine. Even if you lose tonight to the Chiefs, right? If he wins against the Chiefs, he's at 1-2 with very very favorable matchups coming up, and going before the bye week, week 11, he has Chargers, Pats, Jags, and Rams. I
His
don't think
last, please go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, yeah, I don't think he's gonna go. He's gonna have that 11-game stretch, but it's not crazy to say that he will win like at least 5 of the next 7 games.
It's shaping up to be if Logan can maintain his hot start and
Mhm.
keep rattling off wins here, he plays the Texans. Titans and Texans play twice in the last 4 weeks, and
Ooh,
Texans plays at the Broncos in Week 17. So
Yeah.
that division, I hope that division's up for grabs. I hope those two are duking it out for the division at the
And,
end of the season. That'd be
and
great.
then check this out. So the Texans are playing Texans week 17 Texans are playing Broncos, and then the Titans are playing the Raiders, and then they play each other week
Ooh,
18. So this could be huge for AFC West and AFC South. So
shit.
I hope they both kind of keep it up. That would be a great storyline at the end of the season.
Okay,
All right.
Beeve 1 and 2. So the Jags are headed nowhere fast, unfortunately for Jarrell. Colts, we'll see
Yeah.
if they can hang around in this race for a little bit. I mean, they're already half a game up on the Texans, so we'll see. Don't want to count Beeve out too early. He's got our boy Riley Moss
Mm-hmm.
on the squad.
Yep. Shout out to Riley. Panthers and Falcons already split in division and both 2-1. That's as even as it gets, right? When it comes to the race, that's a good rivalry going on there. We gotta see Stevie. I mean, we know he's gonna be in the playoffs, but we gotta see Stevie make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, just get there healthy, Stevie. Like that's all you got to worry about. Get
Yeah.
there with your team fully intact,
Yep.
ready to make a run. Like don't.
And I do see a lot of maturity coming from the Panthers. I mean, even looking at the box score, you don't see some crazy unnecessary numbers. He's just playing to win the game. He's balancing out his play calling. He's not feeding DK. He has plenty of weapons on that offense. So added a running back, I believe. He added Mike Evans in free agency. Dude's gonna be fine.
Think he's going to trade Cooper Cup? I know that they're far
Mm,
apart on contract talks. I think even if you can't re-sign him, like if it gets to a franchise tag situation, do not let Cooper Cup. Don't trade him. Just don't trade him. You won't get the value that he's worth. Cooper Cup is so good in games.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Even if he doesn't sign it, I'd still have him play out the season. Again, we know he's gonna be in the playoffs. You don't like. Why would you get rid of him?
Yeah.
Have him play out his contract. If you really, really love him, you should be able to franchise tag him if it's worth. If not, let him walk in on free agency to replace him later. Um,
Well said.
yeah, it doesn't really make sense for him to trade him. Let's see. He has 18 million in cap space, so he has really 8 million, less than 8 million to playing around with the cap space. So I do understand he's probably gonna end up releasing him. Let's see, but he also has a bunch of like bottom of the roster guys on the last year of their contracts that he should be saving a bunch of money at the end. So yeah.
Do you have a lot of like when you go to re-sign your players? Do you have a lot of money left?
Yeah, I have plenty. I don't have. Let's see. I don't have an issue with any of my guys. Do you?
Like when I've got 2026 cap room, 127 million. Like no issues at all.
Yeah, that's more than no issues. You got a lot of cap space. My cap space is 52 million, which is fine. Like most of my guys are under contract too. So got a lot of super young on defense, but I keep getting younger on defense. Like I drafted a bunch of guys last draft, and then I drafted a bunch of guys on defense this draft, and nobody's really popping. It's
Levon Bird not doing anything for you on defense?
uh, he's all right, man. He's just I think I need to put him in a. He needs a dev game. Really, really what he needs.
Does he play slot?
No, I put him on outside because he's 95 speed. So I was like, that's it. I'm gonna take away opponent. Everybody's got 95, 96 speed receivers. So I'm gonna put him outside. I control the slot guys pretty well. I usually shadow outside if I have to, but I might have to just put him in a slot so just
Get
he just
stats.
make plays. Yeah, because nobody's really throwing at him, and when they do throw at him, I mean he gets the job done. He did get burned once on that first touchdown with Aeneas Smith deep, but he was there. The catch was just made.
Any other early season storylines? I also have written down that the Eagles are making trades. It feels like the NFT craze. Like, can I get in on this? Like, am I too late? Everybody's like getting rich off this, and like Stu just
Um,
making deals with everybody.
yeah. So I know he was him and I played already, right? Yeah, him and I played week 2, and he was just kept talking about how shitty it is that he had to inherit this roster that was kind of fucked up by previous owners. So he's just trying to make a best of it. Obviously, what he has right now is not working, so I think he's figuring it out, trying to add some talent on there. I know you got Javante Williams on the squad. Maybe he wants to run the ball, so on. So
Yeah, sure. That's not a fun place to be. But
no,
that'll be great for Stu next Madden. He'll have a lot of fun with
that's
his
what I
own
told
team.
him. That's what I told him. Yeah.
All right, let's get into picking these divisions. Let's go one by one. I'm going to the standings in Madden so we can just go through them, see the current records, and kind of pick teams.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, I got the AFC North in front of me right now.
All right. Bengals with an early lead to the division. Our boy
Yeah,
Scott.
I'll recap the records when we go through the divisions just so that the listeners know and can kind of orient themselves. So, AFC North, Bengals 2-1, Steelers are 1-2, Browns are 1-1, and the Ravens are 0-2. And I know the Browns and the Ravens are playing each other tonight, so we can assume the Browns will move to 2-1 and the Ravens will move to 3-0 or 0-3.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we talked about Steelers and kind of like you and I sounds like we're both kind of like more out on him than in on him, and Browns are just coming off of a playoff, pretty successful playoff run for what most would say. So
Yeah.
it's a two-team race. Bengals and Browns. They're both having a really good start so far. They're both coming off of losses. Let's see who has more. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They both have one division wins. But Bengals do have 2 AFC wins versus Browns 1. So we'll see, man. This is a two-team race.
Dude, I just pulled up the Browns schedule. He starts the year Ravens, Steelers, Ravens, Steelers. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, this schedule makers are kind of fucking it up. I mean, I'm playing Broncos, Commanders, Chiefs, Broncos, Colts, Chiefs, Chargers. All my AFC West games are just bunched up.
Dude, but if things start going bad for the Browns, they could start going bad. So after he beats Tuba,
Uh-huh.
dude, it'll be Steelers, then
Mhm.
Texans, then Dolphins, then Cardinals, then Bengals, then Patriots.
Yeah.
That's a tough stretch.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. They had they won the division last year. They're gonna get the first place schedule. And last year they benefited of, as we talked about early in the season, like first 10 games, I think it was all very winnable games. Obviously he pulled off a couple of really good upsets too. But overall, he had a favorable schedule and he took advantage of it as he should. But this year it's gonna be opposite. So we'll see how that turns out. Who's your pick?
I'm going to take the Bengals just because of the first place schedule thing. Like I'm looking at the schedule for the Browns and it's going to be really hard to overcome. Like so I'm going Bengals on that point alone.
Yeah, I don't want to be lame and make the same pick as you, but I'm also gonna go with Bengals. I'm also kind of interested how the Browns are gonna respond to this. We already know he's probably in the chat already listening to us. Yep, there he is. So we'll see if this puts a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna come out. He's gonna win against the Ravens most likely, and they're gonna be tied up in 2-1. We'll see who's made of what after this next several weeks.
I would just hate to play the Ravens right before a really tough stretch. I feel like that's opposite of ankle weights. You know how it is.
Yep, I do know. Putting
All
bank
right.
away on.
AFC South. We've got the 2-0 or the 3-0 Titans, the 1-2 Colts, the 0-2 Texans who play the Chiefs tonight, and then the
Mhm.
0-3 Jaguars. Are you ready to go out on a limb and take the Titans, or what are you thinking?
That would be the hot take, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be the hot take. And Texans, for to be for sure, I'm gonna have to see that game tonight against the Chiefs because so far they've played 3 really good teams. They played the Raiders, they played the Cardinals, and then Chiefs. If he can't beat any of those, kind of like the same thing as we talked about Browns, right? First game schedule, first division winner schedule. You're gonna have a bunch of these good games coming up, and you're gonna have to figure out how to win some of these. If he goes 0-3, I'm with the Titans. I'm favoring the Nashville
So you're
boy.
gonna wait and see.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see on this one. If you have to twist my arm out, and I'm gonna take the safe pick, and I'm gonna say Alex is gonna figure it out and take the division. but I'd like to at least see what he does against the Chiefs.
All right. Well, in my garage, I got the Stidham bandwagon in my garage. It's a
Okay.
two-car garage. I got the Titans bandwagon right next to it. It's for two reasons. Okay. And the
Okay.
one, RK put it in the chat. He was like, I love the Titans roster. I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Logan has had awesome draft after awesome draft. And this team is finally like, we're ready to go. He's got Caleb Williams, Kenneth Walker. He's got crazy receivers. Um, and his defense has dogs all over the place too. Jordan Davis. He's got Logan Tweetmeyer as a cornerback. And then the other reason, remember last season? I think it was like the beginning of last season. I remember watching this game. I talked about it. I was in a CVS. I pulled it up on my phone on Twitch. He was playing the Texans. It
Hmm.
was like he was up like 31-10. And I was like, what is going on? He ends up blowing out the Texans in that game. So like he's got this hot start and he has beaten the Texans before. So I'm in on it. I'm taking the Titans.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's not hard to convince me. I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan. And you brought a great point. I should say Arcade brought up a great point. He does have such a fun roster.
And it's
He
really
has
good.
that. Yeah, he has some fucking freaks on that offense, right? Um, and Caleb Williams is another just a superstar in the making. So, yeah, I definitely like. We'll see how tonight shapes up, but leave a seat for me on that bandwagon because I'm ready to hop on as well.
I got you. I got you. I have you seats saved on both because I know you're gonna
Mm,
jump on the Stidham
He can
bandwagon eventually.
give, if he can give away the Stidham one, if this I'm not gonna get into it, but if the Stidham's wagon takes off and we have to ride it, I'm rather just lay in front of the tracks than stay on the track.
Whatever, dude.
Okay.
All right. AFC East.
Okay. I mean, what happened last year? Last year, Dolphins were off to a hot start. Yeah, I even put it out in the chat. I was like AFC East favorite Dolphins, and they were on for most of the season. I think all
10,
the way
10
up
and 1
to,
start.
yeah, I think yeah, 12 weeks through, like they were clear favorites. Like they were looking like they were about to finish out the season with maybe one or two losses, but then the Patriots came and they broke him. They broke him. They totally ruined their rest of the at the end of the season, the regular season games. Limped into the playoffs, fighting against the Jets. Oh no, not the Jets.
Patriots. I beat them 3 times in like the second half of the season.
There we go. That's what it is. So, um, you know, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, is shame on you. Shame on me, right? So I think I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna trust my instinct, trust the past, and I think we're gonna go with the Patriots. I think they're gonna take care of the business, even though they've had a shaky start. Even outside of that one win against the Bills, they have a loss. Who's the loss against? The Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah, so division loss, and then the other win was against
Saints.
Saints, right? And so far I haven't been impressed by the Patriots.
No, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
either. Yeah,
I mean
it's been
Saints were
nothing to write home about.
yeah, Saints were definitely giving some work early. Not even first half. I was watching third quarter. It was 15-14, I believe, or some. Saints were just making plays. So, not impressed by the Patriots, but I'm gonna give them benefit of the doubt here. I've doubted them before, and they're just gonna. I believe they're gonna be the division winners once again.
Yeah, I think good case, good case. And you're probably right. I think like I can say from my perspective, I've made it now that I'm 3-0 in the division in terms of division titles.
Mhm.
I've kind of made it my sole mission to win the division every time because it's me versus the Swedes. So I'm trying to hold it down for the US. So I think, and I'm super confident against the Dolphins now at this point. So yeah, we're rolling with the Pats.
USA. Gotcha. While we're in here, since you're the representative from that division, who you think is the one that gives you the biggest? You think is it the Jets or is it the Dolphins? Because I think Bills are falling behind already.
I would say the Dolphins, but the Dolphins not like having a close game against the Steelers was a little concerning. Right after we watched the Steelers and the Browns kind of both try to give the game to each other, if you remember, we were watching. It was just like, do either of these teams want to win? Like, this is some bad Madden we are
Oh,
watching right now. And then Christian can barely take care of the Dolphins. But and so I got to say the Jets. You know, Joe Kim
okay.
took me out week one. He's he's been knocked out of the playoffs in the first round 3 times in a row, but
Yep.
it's never been a question of him making it. So he's super motivated. So I think Joe has a lot to prove this season. I think he's gonna have a big year.
Awesome. Great points. All
Mhm.
right. Move on to the Wild Wild West. This I think I like how we covered these back to back because these are the by far the most competitive
Oh
divisions
yeah.
in the league by far. Um, and we have a juggernaut Broncos in a division in AFC West, obviously. Our boy RK. It's I mean I'm just coming off a loss against him. It's just so damn tough to beat him.
I
It
know.
is. His roster's built really well. He does things that blows my mind, like throwing the ball away without getting flagged. Um, he and he's a really good user. So I think with 2 division wins already, am I tripping? Let's see, or is it just me that? No, 2 division wins already. Yep, like they're coming to close. They're close. They're closing in on wrapping up the division already in week 3. So um, it's safe to say we can chalk it up division winner to the Broncos. They're gonna do back to back seasons, dominate. I mean, they've lost 2 games in what 13 plus 17, 20 plus how many playoff games?
A lot.
Yeah, because he had a first round bye, so he played divisional conference, so another 3, so that's 23 games, right? About 23 games. He's lost 2 games and he's 21-2 in the last 23 games. And then I should say he's 21 in Jason, right? Um,
Mhm.
he hasn't lost a single AFC game. So it's gonna be hard to decrown him or build a case against him.
Wow, that's crazy that you say that about the AFC because I'm just thinking about him like the John Moran quote. I'm fine in the West, but he's fine in the entire AFC. Like,
Yeah, he's fine in the entire. Yeah, exactly. Um, man,
damn, we were talking before, and I was saying like somebody's got to beat him and like put out some good tape of like this is how you deal with that offense. It's just like the scouting report now is like be Jason. Like that's how you beat him. You do
yeah,
what they do.
exactly.
Be
Yeah,
Jason.
be Jason. I gotta figure out where he lives. Maybe you can log in for me and play Michael's game against him in week 6 for me.
Chill. You
Um,
need those acrobat corners though. It's not just him on the sticks. Like he's got the good personnel too to do it.
yeah, exactly. And I think my weak defense is just such a bad matchup against his juggernaut offense because I feel like if I have to go blow to blow, I could. I tried something different this against him this last week. I was trying to kind of keep him on the sideline, ran the ball a lot, didn't really get the ball to my favorite playmakers until it was too late. Just I was trying something new. It was early in the season, I was like, let me see if this works.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
RK said in the chat, he was like, offense stayed the same, defense got better. Did you notice his defense looking better in your game?
Yeah, most definitely. He has a edge rusher coming off the left. After momentum shifted on the side, the guy was insta
Landry,
shedding.
yeah.
Yeah, insta shedding on every pass down unless I double teamed him. Um, and then it's so hard to double team every single snap. I wish you could just set a setting, just like a double team that guy. That would be awesome. But he was ruining my fucking pass downs.
Wait. What did you say? I wish you could just double team. Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm saying I wish you could like set a double team on somebody in the set like defensive settings.
Oh, and the defense is not like
Like on
before
a
replay.
line,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because on a line of scrimmage you can call a double team, but you have
Hmm.
to do takes a lot of time and
Gotcha.
because that would be my game plan.
Hmm.
Uh, and then he's corners, man. Like he traded away Trayvon Mullins, and he added a better, faster corner. Not even a downgrade as far as abilities. Already an X factor.
Yeah,
Um,
crazy.
yeah, and then he added a safety too, my player safety crime. So all great. Defense for sure got better. Yeah, that's why I think I responded to him for real in our chat. His corners that picked me off on CPU picks too. It was not user picks. I'm not gonna take anything away from him, but it was CPU picks. Both of the picks I threw against him. Neither of them have any abilities. They're just CPU just standing around, just making plays off for him. So it's
JC
tough.
Horn.
Yeah, JC Horn and I forgot who the other guy was. Um, but I mean, it's tough to beat that. It's already hard to win games against him. And when these defensive players are making those kind of plays, it's almost impossible. So
Dude, my game, I've tried to go to see if this happens to you. I go over like RB to where it's like schedule, stats, and
yeah,
awards, and I go to X Factor database. It's crashed my game twice now.
yeah, he does that to me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, Madden being shitty and not
If
working? That's
no,
so
no way.
weird.
Yeah, he just crashed mine too. Yeah, I've noticed that too before. Uh, I'm guessing you were just gonna look at his X factors and
Yeah, I want to know what abilities that Harold Landry has. Like he's coming off the edge like a madman.
man, he was back to back downs, and
I'm gonna look
I
right
think
now.
I think I was in 4th and 43 because of it. I was like, and I'm talking like I couldn't even, this just, and that's my fault. Eventually, I start double teaming, it worked. Like it's not unbeatable, but when you forget about it, if you're trying to run a 2-minute offense or a hurry up offense, and you don't double team him right away. Um, yeah, he's just a beast coming off the edge. There's
Yeah,
a
he's
couple
got
of them.
edge threat. That's like the good ability.
Yeah,
Damn, I like his abilities. He's got reach elite on N'Kobe Dean, so N'Kobe Dean's gonna like make tackles while he's
yeah.
engaged as an inside linebacker. Short route KO too is a bitch to deal with.
Hmm.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Jelani Woods was going crazy on you too.
Well, so the Jelani Woods, he had a really good, really crazy touchdown. He cut. I think he trying to clip it, but my stream cut off as he was making that play. Uh, that's the play that he did on a fake jet sweep, just because he burned me with the jet sweep
Mm.
so much. I overran it with my linebacker, left my zone, and Jelani just comes over across, nice deep route, deep crosser. Justin Herbert hits him, he breaks the tackle, he jukes somebody out, and just takes it in for like a 50-yard touchdown. So yeah, he had a couple other plays. It's a really really talented team, man. Really talented team. There's not much to say about it.
Yep. So we're both taking the Broncos.
Yeah, you gotta.
All right, NFC North. This is an interesting one. We've got the Packers out to a 3-0 lead in the division. They had an awesome season last year. They were the 2 seed. Bears and Lions both 2-1, and then the Vikings are 0-3.
This yeah. From what I'm hearing from a Bears camp, I think they're not really competing this season. They're trying to figure things out, and when you're trying to figure things out in week 4 of the regular season, it's usually not a good sign for that.
Figure what out?
I think they're overthrowing their quarterback situation. They're trying to figure out. They're throwing in their backup quarterback in there.
Mm.
I think they're trying to sell some guys. I'm not sure exactly specifics of the rumors, but I've heard that they're trying to kind of like change things up in there. So this is not an easy division. Definitely, this is probably one of the better divisions in the NFC. You got 3 solid playoff teams in there. But for this year, if I had to put my money on, I'd either go with Packers or Lions.
Gotta choose one.
I'll go with Packers.
Okay, all right, good. I was going to take the Lions.
I figured you would. I don't know. DTR, that's a good quarterback. That's 2 young, same class quarterbacks, Jarrell Hall and DTR. We'll see. So far, Lions dropped one. Who did they drop one against? Do you know? It's a division loss. So
I think he might have lost to the Bears.
yeah. Yeah. Must have been the Bears or the Packers. And the Packers are 3-0. Pretty good start so far. Only 1 division wins. We'll see, man. We'll see.
It's so funny. JJ had that idea in the group chat of like compiling everybody's best clip and then voting on the
Mm.
best clip and like giving a T-shirt to whoever had like the play of the season. And
Yeah,
then Brina, so funny, killed me in the chat. It's like, "Dude, great idea. Thanks for offering to lead this." Like,
yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
Thanks for volunteering. Yeah, for putting it together. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody send your clips to JJ.
Yep. He's gonna make up March Madness style bracket.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
Yep. All right. NFC South. Falcons and Panthers. Who you got, man? We talked about a lot about these teams. Who you got?
Ugh.
Don't go with your heart. Go with your head. Who you got?
Just like I don't even care. Like, doesn't even matter. They're both gonna make the playoffs. We've seen the Falcons come out as a wild card. We've seen the Panthers fucking lose as a 1 seed. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
does this division doesn't even matter?
No, yeah, this is. I mean, we talking about they already split the division. They're both 2-1. They're both gonna make the playoffs. Hopefully, they're both healthy, and hopefully they play each other in the playoffs. That'd be a great 3-game series to watch. But if you have to twist my arm, I can't. I haven't missed on it yet, so I'm gonna pick Jason. If I had to, but
I'll take Stevie for this reason. I have won 2 Super Bowls myself, I will say that,
yes.
and it is hard to say, like, laser focused after you get that
Mhm.
trophy, like, you start trying some shit, like, some new playbooks, like, you get okay with losing a little bit. Is Jason gonna be, like, balls to the wall, "I need this 3rd trophy," or, like, does he, like, take his foot off the gas a tiny, tiny bit and because there's not a huge margin there. Maybe,
No,
like, the
that's not.
tiniest bit will
And
do
you're
it.
right. You're right. But you've never done back to back before, and he starting off this Madden hot, and
Mhm.
we talked about him a little bit during the offseason pod we did, and he added Debo Samuel to his team.
Yeah, true.
He got better too. So, but yeah, I mean, my heart's always with the Panthers, our boy Stevie. But again, if I were a betting man, and I've been betting on Falcons, it's like when you were if, imagine it's 2015 and the Patriots or 2016 or 2017 Patriots are in the playoffs. Like that they're gonna have success. So
Mhm.
hard to bet against them. All right, moving on. NFC East. Okay, NFC East. I'll be honest, I haven't seen any of these games, so it's gonna be hard for me to make a judgment here. Giants, Cowboys. Did they just play? I think Cowboys just beat the Giants, right?
Cowboys beat the Commanders and the Giants already this season.
Okay,
He
so
beat the
Cowboys are
Commanders today.
Cowboys a nice hot start. 2 division wins.
Who's the Cowboys lost to though?
It's not within.
I'm
It's in the
I'm pulling up his
NFC
schedule
opponent.
now. One
Yeah,
sec.
is it the Bears?
Yes, that's right. Yep. So he lost by 3 to the Bears, then he beat the Giants by 13. He beat the Commanders by 11 today. I think the Giants kind of had their run of like being the new hot girl in school, and everybody wanted to,
Yeah,
take her
yeah,
out and see what
uh,
was up. But now, like Cowboys, it's like it's the girl that's always been there, and
yeah.
she's gonna fuck you if you take her to prom. So like that's like the
Yeah,
reliable choice.
Cowboys are the cheerleader captain. That
Mhm.
you had a crush since the freshman year, but sophomore, junior year, some foreign what is it? Foreign help me out here. Uh when you have a foreign student come
Oh,
foreign
exchange student.
exchange,
Yeah,
yeah,
foreign.
foreign exchange student come, and you're like, oh, she's so hot because she got a freaking accent or whatever. But then you
Mhm.
realize that your white buffalo's always been that cheerleader captain.
White Buffalo, nice hot tub time machine reference. Love
I
that.
know, yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Cowboys, and I feel pretty good about it.
All right, we got Dan in the chat. Cowboys schedule is rough, but we've already won 2 division games this year. We've
Mhm.
never not won the division, and we've dropped 1 division game in 3 seasons. That is
Impressive
domination.
feat. Yeah, that's an impressive feat. And notably, I know Giants, I don't think have ever beaten the Cowboys, even going into the playoffs. That was their, big monkey on their back. So, you know, kind of like we talked about it with other teams, Broncos, Falcons. I think the Cowboys are going to be clear favorites when it comes down to the division.
Yeah, and verbal meme of I am once again asking for financial support, the Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
I am once again asking somebody to free Lamar Jackson from the Commanders, dude. He had, I think, 8 passing yards in the first half today. We need something different from the Commanders. Like, it's not working.
Uh,
Mix it up.
yeah.
Don't want to touch that one? All right.
Yeah, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
What else we
I
got?
got
We got any
Philly
more
coming up.
NFC West?
Philly coming up next week, so I'll have more
Oh,
takes on them.
no bulletin board material. Smart.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. NFC West, kind of talked about it, right?
At length, yes.
Yeah, we did. I think it's safe to give the edge to Cardinals. Uh, hashtag free Lamar. I like it, Dan. Yeah, I think it's fair to give the edge to Cardinals. As a as they deserve to. 3-0 start, beating good teams. Seahawks are having a great start to their year. It's almost like I want the Seahawks to focus on staying in a wild card race right
Mm.
now because you're only a game behind. And in the past, you've struggled putting wins back to back together. Don't worry about the long term. Don't worry about the winning the division. Worry about putting wins together. Just win games, and if you win enough, I'm not really breaking news here, but if you win enough games and you're a competitive team down the stretch towards the playoffs, you might have a chance to steal the division. But um, right now, you're still the B squad, the varsity, uh, not the varsity, as the Cardinals would take the division, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good call because it has been kind of like a division or nothing deal for the NFC West, but now they both
Yeah,
have decent starts. They're above 500 to start the season. Keep that head above water, like as long as you can.
exactly.
All right. That pretty much wraps it up. Oh, new rule announced today. 8 touchdown cap for
Mm.
touchdowns, 6 touchdown cap for position players. What are your thoughts on that as a regular league member guy?
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a 6 touchdown game for my specific player, and I can't think of one. I I've never really been the guy who runs up the score crazy, but I'm also not really. I don't like taking my foot off the pedal either. So I've never really been in this dilemma, to be honest. There's only certain people that always feels like always get into this kind of like controversy, and it's never me. Well, I don't know. What's your opinion? I think it's fair. I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I think I've maybe run into this one time. Like I had an 8 rushing touchdown game with Spencer Rattler last year, but I'm with you. I don't get into a lot of these like games with super high scores. Like I tend to kind of play to my opponent a little bit. And yeah, Trout, this is for user versus user. So yeah, it is kind of there have been a few instances of, things getting out of hand, and I think this is good. I think if you're really upset with, like, you can't get 9 touchdown games anymore, like, there's not a lot of sympathy there for you, like,
No,
I think
no,
you can
yeah,
still enjoy without putting up 9 touchdowns, and
and
I
I
don't think
think
anybody really has a problem with the rule.
no, I don't think so. And I think the if you are the one guy who's upset about this, then you are definitely the guy who runs up the score against the weaker opposition. Because there's no way a competitive user over here lets you score 9 times on
No.
purpose. There's just I don't think. But going back to they have 5 touchdowns with Jason Smith and Jigba in week 2 against um,
Yeah.
Eagles. But I did have a scenario. It was and he had a touchdown multiplayer on it. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, and these won't be like, total one and dones. If it happens, you're
It,
banned, like, there
yeah,
will be cases, I feel like.
yeah. He was attached. The disclaimer was attached. It will be reviewed case by case. If there's excuse me, obviously if there's scenarios involved and stuff like that. Even though there's no scenario where you need 6 touchdowns or anything, but
Well, I think one that could possibly come into play that I just thought of kind of was an issue that I had at the end of last season with our QB regressions and like the touchdown
mm,
interception ratio. Say like you're 9 touchdowns below, like you're like 29 and 38 touchdown to interception ratio. That would be one where, I mean, chances are
really
you're not
though,
going to go 9-0 with touchdowns to interceptions, but I feel like that one would be like,
But that's my thing. You think that would be justified? Wouldn't the answer to that be like, hey, you shouldn't have fucked up your touchdown
Yeah, true.
interception earlier into the season.
And just because
Why
you
why
get
is it
Cam
why is
week
it okay
18.
to score touchdown? Yeah, exactly. So I mean, again, like, it's gonna be discussed case by case.
Yeah,
We
good
got
call.
we got we got a very fair commissioner group. I feel like, so I'm not worried about. I don't think anybody's gonna abuse this rule or vice versa. So
Cool. Just checking.
yeah, I'm glad you asked. I'm a very valued member of this community, so my opinions matter.
All right, last thing. Favorite pick from the draft for the Broncos?
Oh, I like Riley Moss. I love Riley Moss. I mean, uh, having the I think I talked about it too. When we were talking about the ideal draft picks for trading up in the second round, I was like, I want a corner. I talked about what's his name,
Joey
uh,
Porter?
Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, I was like, if you can trade up to the second and get him, if he's there midway through, that would be my perfect one. And for the same reasons I loved him, I love Riley Moss pick. And I wasn't really familiar with this game, but apparently he's a zone hot guy, which is exactly, I think they covered on a pod too, I'm sure, but it's just a perfect guy to put on against opposite side of Pat Surtain, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I do think that that pushes Mathis back in slot, which I also love. I also like that he's gonna be in there because we got Kwan Williams there, but he's obviously not a long term guy. He's probably gonna. I think he has an expiring contract coming up. I think he only was signed for 2 years or so. So ease Mathis inside, have Riley on the outside with Patton on the opposite side. I really sense a lot of turnovers coming forward from the secondary this way.
Dude, or Mathis sees this and has already had a good offseason and then ratchets it up a little bit and he just becomes undeniable at that cornerback two spot and like takes a big step one to year two and it's just like,
I mean,
yeah,
there's no. It's a win-win situation.
yeah.
I don't think any bad comes out of this. I mean, you took the guy in what? I now people are upset. They thought they overpaid for him with the next year's third round pick or whatever. I don't care, honestly. Yeah, I don't care. Like, are we upset? And I know a lot of people are upset about us not having a first round pick this year, but uh, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I'll I'll much rather have the Sean Payton than this. Who was the corner taken by Seahawks? Some fucking bum. I don't even know who it is.
Well, not even that. That's not even the pick. It was like the 29th pick that the
Oh yeah,
Saints
that's right.
got.
That's the Saints guy. Yeah,
They
you know
got
what?
Brian Brzee, I think, with that pick.
Brian Breesy,
Yeah, yeah. I
the
think.
tight end.
No, D tackle.
Oh, D tackle. Oh, never
Yeah, I'd
mind.
rather have Sean Payton over a fucking D
Yeah,
tackle.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's fine. Um, and Sean Payton has been the aggressive guy. He likes the guy who can go get some. And I feel like if he liked him and if scouts liked him, Sean, even George Payton, he's a good film guy. I'm guessing he dialed back on GM stuff this year and he kind of like grinded out some tape, college tape, and he probably identified that he really liked this guy. So if you go get your guy, I'll never fault you unless he's a total bust, which I don't think he will be. Plus, only white corner in a league, that's kind of cool, right?
very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
All right. I think that wraps up. Covered everything.
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite pick? I forgot to ask.
My favorite was all the undrafted free agents they signed because I had first and second round grades on all those guys, so just massive signings for them.
I saw that tweet by you on the Twitter. It's pretty funny.
I was doing numbers, bro.
Yeah, yeah, people really get hyped about some undrafted guys like there's some gems, and there might be gems. We've seen some come through, but um, we'll get excited. We'll get excited about those later in the season.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, man, I think that was a look at that, just under an hour. So covered some division winners. We picked our division winners, covered some of the hot start teams. We talked about some trades that's happened, and talked about our favorite picks in the draft. So I think that
Are we
covered.
headed? Are we headed for a Cavs Warriors situation where it's just like it's going to be Falcons Broncos again, or are we going to get different Super Bowl teams? You think
I think.
that might be a
They,
conversation for another day? I might have
yeah,
just opened up a huge can of worms.
yeah, for sure, for sure. We didn't pick Super Bowl winners on purpose today, so we're gonna leave it that
True.
that. but I hope not. I hope not. Speaking of Cavs and Golden State's LeBron Curry matchups.
I know, dude.
Yeah, that's
It's
gonna
got
be
it
a
on my
good one.
mind.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. And speaking of NBA, I'm 11 minutes behind on Nuggets game, so let's wrap this up. Good talking to you, brother. Just an hour.
The
We will
Nuggets is in an
see.
hour and 45 minutes.
What?
The Nuggets is until 10 Eastern.
Oh my god! Every time they tweet, every time I look at it on Twitter,
Yeah,
it might
80.
be.
Yeah.
But we do have Celtics game I'd like to watch. So
Mhm.
let's
Sorry, I'm
wrap this
fucking with
up.
your outro. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm done
yeah.
talking.
You try, man. I got things to do, places to be. Uh, other than this, all right, man. Good talking to you. Good talking to you guys. We'll catch you next time for sure. Get your merch.